All right, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM listeners, we are here. We're live in full effect with the Memphis, Tennessee legend. We got DJ Squeeky live on the line. How you doing this evening?
Spot.
I gotta say
How's
first,
it going, man?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I gotta say first and foremost, Squeaky, I've been a fan for a long time, man. So just thank you so much in advance for giving us a little bit of your time this evening.
That's all love for sure.
But I know you're a busy guy, Squeaky, so I'm going to jump right into this interview. But I have to ask you, like, taking you back to the beginning of your illustrious career within the music industry, like, what actually inspired the legendary career of DJ Squeaky?
Shit, just something I've been wanting to do. You feel what I'm saying? I've been like musically inclined for a minute since I was a youngin'. Going to church with my mom and all that other stuff, seeing how music was actually made and stuff like that. So a lot of that kind of inspired me to do a whole lot of types of stuff with the music. Just get involved more with the music, find out how music is made.
And also, when you were like 15 or 16 years old, I read that you actually started constructing beats and mixtapes. I was wondering, like, what actually inspired you to actually just get into the whole mixtapes and constructing beats side of things?
Cause I was like a DJ at first, and then but then just like I said, by me being a DJ at first, it just inspired me to get into the music because I was DJing first, but I was trying to see basically how the music was made instead of being a listener. Feel what I'm saying? Find out how it been put together. So once I got it all together, trying to put it together and trying to figure it out, so I was like, okay, then let me try to see can I put some mixtapes together and see what come up, see what's gonna happen with it. So after that, I just have been keeping going.
And also back then, like I also read that back then within Memphis, there wasn't a lot of individuals really doing what you were doing back then as well.
No, I wasn't nobody doing it back then. It was probably like a couple folks like Spanish Fly, probably like Gangsta Pat, Al Capone, some names like that. People who have been in the game just as long as I've been in the game, trying to get it going and get it started.
And the one thing I've always wanted to ask you was, your On a Mission record actually sold 10,000 copies in 1 week. I was wondering, like, how did it feel to actually sell that many copies of a record in 1 week? Because I do know, like, you know what I mean, especially in Memphis and in those years, 10,000 copies in 1 week is actually a phenomenal record sale.
Oh, yeah, it was phenomenal. I had a record deal the next week.
And I gotta ask you, like, how many record labels reached out to you? Was it just one, or were you getting like non-stop offers right off the hop?
Really, when that first happened, the next week I had a record label. This record label used to be called Relativity, Bone Thugs and Harmony, and a lot of folk major artists were signed to it. They bought MJG, 36 Mafia. A lot of artists that was really out back then, they was all signed on Relativity. So when they first heard I sold that 10,000 in a week, they was like the first person to come down there and jump on it. They was outside in front of my mama house in the hood in a limo.
They were pretty much jumping on that. They didn't want nobody else. They didn't want nobody else to get Squeaky except for them, by the sounds of it.
Right. They knew what they were doing. Cause you got to think about if I done sold 10,000 the first week by myself with no help, you know what I would have done with the next album.
And I gotta ask you, what is what On a Mission? What is it at today? Is it like it must have gone platinum a couple times by now?
On a Mission?
Correct, yeah.
On a Mission went on to sell 100,000.
Hey, you know what? That's still pretty darn good, especially, you know what I mean, being an underground artist. And I gotta say that record's absolutely phenomenal as well. I remember back in the day, one of my friends actually had it on cassette.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I tried my absolute hardest to buy it off him, man, but he just wouldn't budge. He was like, "No, man, this thing's hard to find." And I was like, "Shit." I tried, but it wouldn't work.
Yeah, it ain't hard to find. I mean, it's hard to find. I just recently just got me a brand new CD of On a Mission. On the Mission. I couldn't even believe it.
And also, you were actually in the group Mochetta Mobsters. I was wondering, can you tell us a story behind that group's formation? And of course, how did you meet the other members?
A lot of those artists that was on there was artists that I already knew, that I already had been working on from previous mixtapes when I was doing the mixtapes. So really get out and choose a lot of different new artists. I just had, like, the artists that I had signed to the label, I had them signed to the label, then I had some artists that still was left too. So I just went on and I formed a group with them so we could start trying to keep them going too.
And I gotta say, you guys did some phenomenal work together as well. Like, I know it's been quite a number of years since, you know, Mochet and Mobsters, but do you think you guys might get together and do like a little reunion tour or like a reunion record?
Yeah, that's what I'm working on now. I'm trying to put that together right now.
And also, you actually teamed up with Memphis legend Tom Ski Mask on his debut LP. I was wondering, how did yourself and Tom actually initially get connected?
Well, me and Tom Ski had been knowing each other since the mixtape days, since the beginning. So he was like one of the artists. Like it was Tom Ski Mask and those Project Players. They was like one of the artists that I had signed when I had got the major record label deal.
And I gotta say, you know, Tom Ski Mask is still doing his thing today, man. He's still putting out a great amount of work, man. So I don't think there's no stopping Tom Ski Mask.
Oh no, he gonna keep it going for sure. That.
I don't know if you caught it, but I recently he just did a versus battle with Little Noid not too long ago.
Yeah, I didn't actually see the battle, but I did see the promotion on that.
I'm gonna be honest though, I actually was really surprised. I actually thought they really had a beef going on. The way they were like lipping each other during that little sit down, I actually thought that shit was real. I was like, damn man, like these guys are gonna rip each other's heads off.
Oh hell no, I ain't gonna do nothing.
And also, in the year 2000, you actually released one of my personal favorite records, In the Beginning. I was wondering, what's the story behind that phenomenal record? And of course, where can our listeners actually snag themselves a copy today?
I still have it online on iTunes where you can download it. In the Beginning, it's still for sale online.
And I gotta say, that record, in my personal opinion, is one of my absolute favorites, you know? Like, my personal opinion, I loved your production that you actually did on that record.
Yeah, what I named that album In the Beginning because I was trying to, you know, let people know and my fans and stuff, you know, in the beginning, it was us. We didn't have there were no other groups and all that other stuff, but in the beginning when we first started, when nobody around knew other little groups, it was just us. We was the ones making those mixtapes, start putting them out in the street, start getting music on the street, start selling them store to store, all this stuff. There was nobody out there doing this, one person. And that was Spanish Fly, but he was a DJ. You feel what I'm saying? But besides putting out mixtapes with rap songs and artists on there, I wasn't nobody doing that back then but me. I the one who started all of that first.
And I also got to say, you know what I mean? Like you most definitely deserve much more credit. For much more credit than much more credit than what you're currently getting right now, man. Because in my personal opinion, like 3-6 Mafia most definitely took your style, man. So I want people to know that, you know, you're the originator. You're the originator out there in Memphis.
Yeah, and they, you know, I look at 3-6 Mafia. They were just like a huge super fan to what I got going on. But you know, as big as I was back then doing the mixtapes, you know, there wasn't no style or no music or something you could just get your influence from. You couldn't get it nowhere but from me because there was nothing else to get it from. You feel what I'm saying? So they, you know, even though they probably took the music and ran them, you know, it's cool. You know, I look at it like they my biggest fans on the planet. They might not think so, but they my biggest fans on the planet. Because anytime you want to sound like me, be like me, make your beats like me, rap like me, do everything like me, oh, you can't be like yourself. You don't even know what yourself feel like no more because you're too busy trying to be like somebody else.
And I gotta ask you, like back then when you actually like, you know, kind of noticed what 3-6 Mafia was doing, did you ever like kind of confront one of them and be like, hey man, like that's my style, like, you know, what are you doing?
Yeah, I had a come through conversation with them or whatnot, but you know, nowadays I don't even do that with them no more. I seek lawyers on them now, so I need the money. I don't need nothing from them but the money. And the crazy thing about that group right there, I don't even know that group. Never met them, never been around them. I don't know anything about them. All I know, it was a group, came out, stole my music, and tried to sound like me. That's all I know about them.
Hey, well, you know what? at the beginning, it was some shisty type shit, but hey, look at it now. You're actually getting paid, and them lawyers can help you feed your family now, man. So in a way, it
Oh
kind of
yeah,
pans out.
oh yeah, yeah. I ain't got to worry about the little extra people like them because I look at them. If that's all they got in life is to use my music, that's cool. We'll settle up in court.
And also, you actually did some phenomenal production as well. And one of the most notable ones as well is actually 2 Chainz. I was wondering, how did you actually get connected with 2 Chainz? And of course, what was it like doing production work for him?
Oh, 2 Chainz, good dude. Young Dolph introduced me into 2 Chainz.
And I noticed as well, actually, you got a plaque with from Young Dolph as well. I noticed that on your website.
Yeah. Man, we won a goal on that 100 shots.
And I remember when that song was circulating as well. That song is absolutely phenomenal.
Oh yeah, that song's off the chain. I ain't gonna lie.
And also, aside from like music as well, you actually did some features and documentaries, man. I don't one of the most notable ones is I remember watching this one was on Netflix, which is Hip Hop Evolution. I was wondering what was that experience like, and of course, how did you actually get connected with Hip Hop's evolution?
Well, they really had called me on the phone and said they want to do some interview with some artists with down south. I was really kind of shocked myself because most of the time when they do stuff like that out here in Memphis, I'm really never included on none of that. So when they called me and told me they wanted me to do an interview, I was really kind of shocked, But I was glad they did, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes, I guess one day everybody gets
And I gotta say as well, that documentary is phenomenal. The one thing I like about it the most is they really went deep within the hip hop culture. Like a lot of people, when they think South, they think 3-6 Mafia and stuff like that. But they really, really did their digging for that documentary.
right, because sometimes people, a lot of people that look at Memphis music, all they think they do is see the 3-6 Mafia because they only look at them. They was on a bigger platform than I was, but in the underground world in Memphis, everybody knows that, hey, 3-6 Mafia's over there using nothing but the squeaky sound. Everything they do and not everything they do is nothing but squeaky. I'm talking every album they ever even put out to this day still got some squeaky sample on.
And also, in 2019, you actually were in another documentary by the name of Memphis Magic, which is one I actually haven't had the opportunity to check out. But I was wondering, can you tell us a bit more about that documentary? And of course, where can our listeners actually check that out today?
I haven't seen that right now. I think I have to go back on that one myself, but I remember doing it though.
And I gotta say, nowadays, everybody's doing documentaries, so it's so hard to keep up on them all. You know what I mean? Like it seems like every day there's a new one.
I'm probably doing a documentary every month.
Hey, but you know what? It pays the bills too, right? So at the end of the day, you get to talk about, do some documentaries, and you still get to feed the family, so it works out for everybody.
Yeah, for sure.
And you also have your own podcast as well called Trap Music Radio. I was wondering if you tell our listeners a bit more about that, and of course, where can we actually check out that radio show?
Right now with the Trap Music Radio, I'm right now getting the app built because I was so big on this jump for a minute. They had shut me down because they said I had too many downloads because I had like 50,000 downloads with my app, 100,000 followers. So they were saying my app was just too big, and really I think they were just hating on me because my ratings were higher than iHeartRadio. And see, I was killing all the radio stations that even was on Apple. You feel what I'm saying? My rating was the highest rating ever, so they probably looking at me like, who is he? Why he ain't doing it like we doing it or whatever, So they just shut me down for a minute, but I'm finna get ready to come with this new Trap Music Radio app. This one I'm building right now. It's going to be very nice for real. You're going to be able to click on an artist who's coming up, and artist videos, all this stuff right from the app.
And before I actually started my own radio station, I was through Spreaker and whatnot as well, and they do have a knack. They do have a knack for doing that as well, man. It's pretty shiesty.
Yeah, that's who I was with. Spreaker shut me down because they say I had too much of my bandwidth. They like you got like 100,000 people following you. You got like 50,000 downloads. You just too much for us. We looking for a small fry. You ain't no small fry.
Hey, well, you know what? It's their loss because they don't comprehend, like, that type of traffic is actually going to their website as well. So, at the end of the day, it's their loss. You know what I mean? Another podcasting site can most definitely benefit from all that traffic.
Right, Because my next move right now, I'm finna go on Apple with my podcast. That's what I'm finna do now.
But I gotta ask you, other than going on Apple for your podcast, like what's next for the legendary DJ Squeeky? Like, is there anything I missed? Anything else you still want to talk about or promote? Will we still have you here live on the Canadian airwaves?
Right now, we got some new artists I'm probably gonna get ready to drop in a minute. I'm looking for some little new artists I'm gonna get ready to put out and do some work with. You know, trying to keep this thing going with the motel. We're gonna have some new artists that are gonna be coming out. They're gonna be flaming hot. You know, but right now we in the studio, we putting it down. And I do have a studio here in Memphis too.
And quickly, quickly, because I do have some listeners actually out in the Tennessee area. So if any individuals want to buy some studio time from the legendary DJ Squeeky, how would they go about contacting you to do that?
You can go on djsqueeky.com, or you can go on my Instagram, djsqueeky_, and then it's a booking schedule on there. My number's on there. You can call me. We can make it happen.
And also, DJ Squeeky, this is the time in the interview that I give a chance for the individual that slides into the radio station airwaves, just a chance to give shoutouts to whomever they want to give shoutouts to, and also your social media handles. That way our listeners can follow you and stay updated everything DJ Squeeky if they're not already doing so.
Okay, make sure you follow me on DJ Squeeky _ on Instagram. And then if you look on Instagram, all my information's on there, my number's on there, my studio for my studio booking, and you can hit me up. We can put something together. We can make it happen.
Hey, man, most definitely, ladies and gentlemen, make sure if you want to record with the legendary DJ Squeeky and make a hit, make sure you hit him up.
Yeah, we ain't dropping nothing but heat rock. I'm cold rock, straight heat rock.
Hey, you know what I gotta say? There's a lot of hungry artists out there. You know what I mean? Sometimes there's some individuals that want. There's some individuals that aren't really hungry for it, but I know there is some out there listening. So make sure you go get that heat rock from DJ Squeeky.
Oh yeah, hits on there.
And I gotta say, Squeeky, thank you so much for years of amazing hip hop, man. You know what I mean? You are the originator, in my personal opinion, of South Coast hip hop, man. So thank you for years of amazing hip hop and everything you've done. And I'm looking forward to even more years of DJ Squeeky production and music.
Oh yeah, it's definitely on the way.
Hey man, most definitely DJ Squeeky, thank you so much and have yourself a wonderful night.
I appreciate it, man. You stay good, man.
Hey man, you as well. Thank you so much.